Mike Johnson knows Trump is insane. Of course, we knew this. But I just want to say, damn it, it's funny. But like, Mike Johnson knows that Trump is literally deranged. And he agreed with the representative that I'm about to show you right now. Y'all down bad, MAGA. Y'all down bad.
Speaker of the House, little pipsqueak, Moses Mike Johnson, was confronted in the halls of Congress by my new hero of the week, Congresswoman Madeline Dean.
The president is unhinged. He is unwell. What are you doing? A lot of folks
on your side are too. I don't control.
Oh my God, please. That performance in front of the generals, I didn't see it. Is so dangerous. You know I serve on Foreign Affairs and Appropriations. Yes. This is a collision of those two things. Our allies are looking elsewhere. Our enemies are laughing.
I just left
you
the
have a
speaker's,
president who is unwell.
The chair lays before the House a communication.
The Speaker's Rooms, Washington, D.C., October 3rd, 2025. I hereby designate the period from Tuesday, October 7th, 2025 through Monday, October 13th, 2025 as a district work period under Clause 13 of Rule 1. Signed sincerely, Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House of Representatives.
There you have it. MAGA Mike Johnson has declared that there will be another at least week-long vacation in the House of Representatives, and that vacation may extend many weeks through the entire month of October.
Advisor and MAGA church pastor secured a sweetheart deal today after pleading guilty to actually abusing a child in the 80s. Robert Morris pled guilty to 5 felony counts of lewd or indecent acts with a child, and under a negotiated sweetheart plea agreement, he was given a 10-year sentence but will only serve 6 months in the county jail. He must also register as an actual offender and pay $250,000 in restitution. This is Robert today leaving the courtroom handcuffed to serve his sweetheart 6 months in the county jail. Now, it's very important to note that he must don't have very many ties, honey, because that's the same tie he had on when he was sitting down at that table with Frumpy Dump as the spiritual advisor to the President of the United States. But I digress. So back in June of 2024, Cindy Clemenshire publicly accused him of actually abusing her in the 80s when she was 12 years old over the course of 5 years. At the time when Cindy accused him publicly, he was the pastor of MAGA Church Gateway in Southlake, Texas. Apparently, he started this church back in 2000, and his sermons were broadcast to audiences around the world, and he had thousands of weekly attendees at that church. Now, after she publicly accused him, the church made an announcement saying that he was stepping down. Now, Miss Cindy told NBC News that this whole thing started back in 1982 when she was 12 years old, and Robert was a traveling evangelist in his early 20s who sometimes stayed with her family in Oklahoma. According to her, one night when she was 12, he invited her into his room and fondled her and touched her inappropriately. And that was the first of several encounters that would span over the next few years. Now, she never told anyone until 1987. She told her parents and leaders at the church. Nobody called the police, and they gave Robert their version of therapy. Now, in the mid-2000s, she went to the church seeking some restitution to cover what she had spent on processing her childhood trauma through therapy. So they offered to pay her $25,000, but only if she signed a non-disclosure agreement. So since she wouldn't sign the non-disclosure agreement, that fell through, and she went public in 2024, and in March of 2025, a grand jury returned an indictment on Robert, and he was arrested and let out of the clink on a $50,000 bond, and now he has struck a sweetheart deal to only spend 6 months in the clink. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. One would argue that it's good to have friends in high places.
2 agents were holding him on the ground Fortunately, if there is a fortunate part of the story, someone was taping on their cell phone camera. Otherwise, this would never have been caught on tape, and these ICE agents would have hid what they were doing. Here, play this clip.
The man arrested appears to be completely restrained when he was punched in the head.
That's right, and you'll want to take a look at this video, but just a warning, it may be hard for you to watch. The Mobile County Sheriff's Office confirmed this video we're about to show is of an immigration operation they took part in early this morning. Two officers hold down a suspect, and one of them punches that man in the back of the head. Mobile County deputies say he is one of 5 suspected illegal immigrants, who deputies say tried to run away from a traffic stop early Tuesday morning. Mobile County deputies have seen this cell phone video and are taking a closer look at what happened. Here's some background information. Deputies tried to pull over a vehicle on Dauphin Island Parkway south of I-10. Several people got out and ran, and that's when deputies chased them down and took 5 people into custody, including one who was tased. As of right now, Orlando Cal, Henry Castillo, Santiago Pop, Gasper Lorenzo, and Francisco Romero Madron are currently placed on a hold.
Despicable, but shout out to the people there offering help. Let me show you what went down.
Y'all bogus as hell. Y'all bogus as hell, bro. Hey, y'all bogus as hell. Hey, y'all bogus as hell. They ain't even supposed to be touching that man like that, violating his rights. Violating his rights, bro. Look at that shit. Excessive ass force, bro. Excessive ass fucking force. Look at y'all, bro. Savages. What the hell are you doing over there, bro? What the fuck is wrong with you, bro? You fucking bogus, dog. You're bogus. Hey, ¿cómo te llamas, bro? ¿Cómo te llamas? Iván, ¿qué, bro? Iván, hey, don't fucking touch him like that, dog. Don't fucking touch him like that. Hey, don't be choking him, nigga. Don't be fucking choking him. Diga su nombre, primo. ¿Cómo se llama? ¿De dónde viene? Hey, you fucking racist piece of shit. You're a fucking piece of shit, bro. You're a fucking piece of shit. I got his name. I got his name. Hey, y'all bogus. Y'all bogus, bro. Y'all bogus. That's crazy. That's crazy. Y'all shouldn't be touching people like that. That's crazy. That's crazy.
ICE Gestapo right there. I want you to watch what happens here. This is sickening. Here, play this clip.
You gotta strut like you mean it. Free your mind. It's not enough just to dream it. Hey! Oh, come on.
Get back. Leave her alone.
Well, she's disabled now because she fucked around. So yeah.
This is a disturbing story, so I'm putting a trigger warning out there. These 2 young ladies pictured here, their lives were snuffed by allegedly by another 17-year-old. And we need to talk about it because a lot of the times we talk about the loneliness of boys. We talk about the pipelines that they are going down. We talk about the red pill in the manosphere. And now we have the added lane of the Charlie Kirks and the Theo Bros and these dudes that are wanting to become more conservative. And they feel like they dehumanize women and girls to the point where snuffing them out is no big deal. Let's talk about Maria and let's talk about Isabella and how their lives were snuffed at 17 years old. 2 different people sent me this post. This was posted in the Destiny subreddit, and this is a long read. So this person says a Tate, as in the top G, the top potato Tate, and Kirk fans stalked and snuffed out 2 teen girls. Why isn't the mainstream media or Democrats talking about this? We got to talk about this because, like, when the right wing, when the MAGA influencers find a talking point, they blast it. These mass pew-pewers all have a look. They all have a look, and they are dangerous, and not enough people are hammering that there is a type of people that keep snuffing out folks. They have a type. They are lacking melanin. They typically have a peen. Can we talk about it and be real? We haven't even heard about Tyler Robinson in a while now.
Residents of Chicago. In the middle of the night, hundreds of armed federal agents and police, backed up by riot trucks, smoke grenades, and helicopters, breached fences and busted doors in an immigration raid on an entire apartment building on the city's south side. They pulled dozens of residents from their homes and zip ties, including children, some of them without any clothes. They then held some outside for hours and dragged the others into rented vans.
It was scary because I've never had a gun put in my face.
Neighbors like Ebony Watson says they ducked for cover as they heard several flashbangs go off.
They was terrified. The kids was crying. People was screaming. They looked very distraught. I was out there crying when I seen the little girl come around the corner. Because they was bringing the kids out too. Had them zip tied to each other. One of them literally laughed. He was standing right here. He said, them kids.
They zip tied the kids together. ICE put out a statement saying they were pursuing Trinidad gang members. But U.S. citizens living in the building say they were detained too. The cops told them that if they had any unrelated warrants, they wouldn't be going back home. 37 people were ultimately arrested after agents separated children from their parents on the street. And if you're looking at this and asking yourself, how is this legal? That is the right question to ask. And it has kind of an answer. And to understand it, you have to go back to Los Angeles this summer, where federal immigration agents started pushing the envelope on orders from the White House. They raided Home Depot parking lots and Walmart lots, and they grabbed people they saw. Near one Home Depot, masked agents with batons grabbed Narcisco Barranco, who has lived in the U.S. for more than 30 years and has 3 sons serving in the Marine Corps. Agents beat Barranco on the ground, dislocating his shoulder before detaining him. In Van Nuys, agents raided a car wash, remembering this, sending patrons and workers scrambling before the 79-year-old owner, who is a U.S. citizen named Rafi, tried to ask them what they were doing.
That is when Rafi was taken down by agents and eventually handcuffed. Rafi says he was injured in the process.
And they sit on me. It's in my elbow since a week ago. And it's in my arm.
Rafi says he and 5 others at his car wash were taken to a federal detention center downtown. We're still working to learn more about why they were detained.
Was sound asleep. ICE agents go, bust in the doors, pull residents out of their beds. I have this to show you. So as you can see in this photo, this is what one man was left with in his apartment. Just stuff everywhere, stuff missing. Some of this, the piles of stuff you see in this photo were not even his. They apparently detained people for hours, including U.S. citizens. No warrants whatsoever. A neighbor said that agents dragged people out of their apartments, including children who had no clothes on. And then they put these people all in the back of a U-Haul trailer, and they separated the children from the parents. The neighbor told a local news outlet, quote, "It was heartbreaking to watch. Even if you're not a mother, seeing kids coming out buck naked and taken from their mothers, it was horrible. Stuff was everywhere. You could see people's birth certificates and papers thrown all over. Water was leaking into the hallway. It was wicked crazy." Now, Trump's Gestapo tore up these apartments. For what reason? For what reason? Even if you have a reason for being there, what is the purpose of this? Take a look at this photo. This is just one of the photos shared by the news outlet of what's in the hallway. I don't know if you guys can see it, but on the left-hand side of the screen, there is a door leaning up against the wall that had been ripped off of the hinges. And you can see there's just stuff strewn all down the hallway fans, all kinds of stuff broken. This is insane. This is insane. And so a 67-year-old resident, his name is Roderick Johnson, he said that agents busted in his door, zip-tied him, left him tied up outside for almost 3 hours. And Johnson told the Chicago Sun-Times, quote, "I asked why they were holding me if I was an American citizen, and they said I had to wait until they looked me up. I asked if they had a warrant, and I asked for a lawyer. They never brought one." So they are just rounding up even U.S. citizens, leaving them zip-tied outside on a weeknight for hours with no excuse. Won't supply an attorney, won't show a warrant because they don't have one, just violating Americans' civil rights, violating the Constitution left and right. The Sun-Times also spoke with a 27-year-old who lived there, a guy named Dan Jones, and they wrote, quote, "When he got home from work, Jones said he entered his unit to find all of his electronics and furniture missing and all of his clothes and shoes thrown on the floor. Jones said he had no idea who took his belongings and hadn't received answers from Chicago police. I'm pissed off," Jones said. "I feel defeated because the authorities aren't doing anything." So people are literally losing everything that they have. They're losing their belongings. This is an American citizen whose home was busted into in the middle of the night when he wasn't there, when he was at work, and he comes home and half of his stuff is gone. And everybody's like, "Oh, I don't know. Sorry. My bad. Too bad for you." Now, of course, DHS is claiming, "Oh, well, this building, this was infiltrated by Venezuelan gang members. This is filled with Tren de Aragua members." They have provided no evidence. The Chicago Sun-Times said to them, "Can you give us a warrant? Can you show us anything documenting what you're saying, proving that what you're saying is legitimate?" Nope. Don't have to, apparently, in Donald Trump's America. But don't call them fascists, you guys. Don't call this regime a fascist regime because, oh, you're threatening them. You're putting a target on them. You're inciting violence. No, we are making factual statements based on the evidence that we have, based on what we are seeing with our own eyes, the videos, the photographs, what we are hearing from other Americans and immigrants as well. This is a fascist authoritarian regime. This is not America any longer. And we have more than 3 years of this left. Unless the Democrats can take control in the midterms and stop this shit, put an end to this. But even then, unless the Republicans are willing to go along with impeachment and removal, Donald Trump can just ignore Congress. I mean, he has so far, right? He implemented all of these tariffs, which he does not have the authority to do under the Constitution. That is the power, that is a power vested in Congress. And he's just run right over them, and the Republicans haven't said shit. All of this stuff that he's doing, Congress could put a stop to. But because the Republicans have control, they won't do anything. Masked pansy-ass Gestapo were waiting to take this immigrant into custody. They were taking a man into custody, even though, again, he's at the courthouse. He is trying to abide by the law. He's trying to do things the right way, as they all say they're supposed to do. Pay close attention, not to him though. He's going to be towards the bottom of your screen. Pay close attention to the top of your screen, because what you're going to see is a man's arm reaching in. He is wearing a green shirt and he has his fist clenched onto a woman's hair. Check this out. So somebody bigger one day is going to teach this guy a lesson.
Suerte, suerte, señora. Suelta a la niña, 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 suelta a la niña. No estoy haciendo nada. No estoy haciendo nada. No estoy haciendo nada. No estoy haciendo nada. Abre the door. Back. Move.
So, as you saw there, they drag a man away. That was her husband.
Just said what?
Now, Senator Booker also said we should have bipartisan agreement. I think that's a great idea. We should have bipartisan agreement. How about we all come together and say, let's stop murders? How about we all come together and say, let's stop rape? How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles?
The Republican Party is the party that defends pedophiles. They defend pedophiles. They protect Trump. They protect his best buddy Epstein. They don't want to release the Epstein files. That means that Republican is the party that defends pedophiles. MAGA, you defend pedophiles. Trump supporters, you defend pedophiles. Right-wingers, you defend pedophiles. What does that tell us about you? You defend so fiercely pedophiles. Republicans in the House, you all protect Trump and you don't want to release the Epstein files. What does that tell us about you? You're protecting and defending a pedophile, and then you want us to believe that you care about the children? Like, come on, really, seriously? It's disgusting. All you Republicans that defend and protect Trump and don't want to release the Epstein files, you're disgusting. You're disgusting individuals. When you go home, look at yourself in the mirror, because you're a disgusting individual. All of you that are part of this are disgusting people. You don't care about children. You don't care about children. All you care about is protecting pedophiles and guns. That's what you care about. Guns and protecting pedophiles. You don't care about children, and you don't care. You just don't care. Don't lie. You don't care about children because you want to defend pedophiles and you want to promote less gun control. Less gun control and protect pedophiles. What does that equal? You don't care about the children. You don't give a shit about children. That's just what that is. It is what it is.